Good evening and welcome to the evening news. I am Kayode Adebayo. President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the 2023 budget of the Federal Capital Territory and the Niger Delta Development Commission to the House of Representatives for approval. The President also transmitted to the House the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Alteration Bills 2022 for consideration. This is contained in 3 separate letters to the House and read by the Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila at the resumed plenary in Abuja today. In the letter, President Buhari said the conveyance of the FCT statutory budget, which aligned with the federal government fiscal development policies, was pursuant to the Section 121 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. It added that the FCT 2023 budget proposal prioritizes improvement in healthcare services, job creation, youth empowerment, social welfare services alongside education, and increased productivity in agriculture in the government's determination to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. The federal government has reiterated its determination to restructure, re-strategize, and reposition all medical institutions in the country in terms of administration and human capital development to meet up with the global standards. The Minister of State for Health, Dr. Joseph Ekumankama, disclosed this in Abuja just as President Muhammadu Buhari renewed the appointment of Dr. Mustapha Yaro as Medical Director of the National Hair Care Center, Kaduna, for a second term and final term of 4 years. Mr. Joseph Ekumankama, who conveyed the President's approval in separate letters to medical directors, reminded them of the enormous responsibilities ahead and tasked them to consolidate and improve upon their previous achievements to justify the confidence reposed in them. The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to release 5 billion naira into the Ecological Fund account for each state and FCT to mitigate the impact of flooding. This followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance by Mr. Henry Nwawuba today at the plenary, titled Need for Strategic Planning and Refunding to Prevent Reoccurrence of Flood Disaster in Nigeria in 2023 and beyond. Presenting the motion, Nwawuba, who described the impact of flooding as worrisome, said its devastating effects on property, lives, animals, farms were unquantifiable. He explained that the recent unpleasant experience could have been avoided if government had identified the peculiarity of risk the citizenry were exposed to based on the country's geographical positioning. Nwawuba further explained strategic planning and adequate funding will help mitigate the effects and facilitate quick and better recovery of lives, properties, economy, and overall environment. The House therefore mandated its Committee on Appropriation to make provision of 200 billion naira in the 2023 budget for Ecological Project Office for flood preparedness, mitigation, response, recovery, and relief packages. The Nigerian Immigrations Service Special Border Command in Jibia, Katsina State, has rescued no fewer than 716 survivors of human trafficking. Mr. Kelechi Ekeoba-Jones, the controller of the command, said this at Jibia border while handing over some of the survivors to the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons. Ekeoba-Jones, who disclosed that the 716 survivors were rescued from April 14 to date, adding that 10 survivors were the latest to be rescued by operatives. He explained that the 10 victims were intercepted along Daura Kongulon Road while heading to Europe through Niger Republic and Libya. According to him, within the period under review, the command also repatriated about 350 Nigerians that entered Nigeria illegally without necessary documents. According to the controller of the state command, the rescued victims left from Kano to Niger Republic through Daura Kongulam axis, but were intercepted by NIS patrol team that was aware of their movement. The NIS Controller General, Mr. Idris Ishajeri, has directed that the victims be handed over to NATIP and also advised parents, guardians, and the general public to desist from sending their children and wards abroad for non-existing greener pastures. The National Commissioner and Chairman Security Committee of the Independent National Electoral Commission, retired Major General Modibo Alkali, said that the Department of State Services and Nigerian Army will henceforth provide additional security for the facilities of the electoral umpire nationwide. He disclosed this in Abuja, adding that the move was agreed upon at the emergency meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security following recent attacks on assets belonging to INEC. Retired Major General Modibo Alkali said security agencies will also upscale intelligence gathering, sharing, and utilization of the same to stem further sabotage, adding that measures are already taken for the arrest and prosecution of offenders. Osun and Ondo States Amatekun Security Network Commandants, retired Brigadier General Bashir Adewumbi and Chief Adetunji Adeleye, have reiterated their commitment towards keeping criminal elements at bay and ensuring that citizens sleep with their eyes closed during and after Yuletide season. The commandants gave the assurance in Akure, the Ondo State capital, while flagging off Operation Gbaligbako of the Amatekun Security Network. The leadership of Amatekun Security Network in Osun and Ondo State said that the joint operation is specifically designed to identify criminal hideouts and trouble spots across the two states. Pa Joseph Alayande, the Obaloyan of Obaloyan's compound, Iba, Ifelodun local government area, has died at the age of 103 years. According to a release by the family signed by Mr. Lasso Anyanda, Pa Chief Anyadiran Alayande died last Saturday at his residence in Iba. During his lifetime, he sojourned in Ghana as a trader and later returned to Nigeria to become a cocoa farmer in Isharu, Ondo State. Pa Alayande is survived by wives, children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Among them are Dickiness, Grace Adedayo, Mrs. Abigail Abioye, Mr. Opeyemi Alayande, and Mr. Michael Alayande. The release added that the funeral arrangements for the deceased will be announced later. And I'm moving on to sport now. Nigerian National League has fixed November 15 to 29 for the season ending NNL Super 4 play-off in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. Flooding, which ravaged the host state Bayelsa, had twice forced the Super 4 to be postponed. The initial date for the event was October 16 to 22, but was rescheduled for October 25 to 29. However, it still didn't hold due to the devastating effect of the flood in the state. Almost a month since the last postponement, the NNL now looks set to hold the tournament. Spokesman of the NNL, Ama Ignis, confirmed the date when contacted by newsmen. Bend Insurance of Benin, Bayelsa United, Doma United of Gombe, and El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri are the four teams that will slug it out for NLS ultimate prize in Yenagoa. The four clubs finished as the top two sides in the Southern and Northern leagues and have all gained promotion to the NPFL ahead of next season. And now the foreign scene. Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo has fired his junior finance minister over corruption allegations. President Akufo-Addo terminated the appointment of the Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance, Mr. Charles Ado Boai, with immediate effect. The fallout from the expose by a well-known investigative journalist comes as the government is under pressure over a faltering economy, and lawmakers earlier pushed Akufo-Addo to fire Finance Minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta. The presidency's statement said President Akufo-Addo's decision came after being made aware of the allegations against Boai in a documentary which is scheduled to be released today. The president also referred the case to prosecutors for further investigation. And that ends the evening news on Osbc TV. Please join us at 7 for major report. Good evening.
Nítorí ògùn lárùn sọ ọkọ̀ mọ́ ti dẹ̀.